You had a bit of personal success, but I guess it was a long day out there.
Yeah, definitely a long day. You go into a first day at the Gabba and you come back with only 2 wickets. You look up at the scoreboard. It's probably been a pretty long day, definitely. Wasn't a Gabba wicket that we were probably used to. It was a bit slow and there was no real sideways movement. The one thing that I noticed with it, it's pretty soft all the way underfoot. Usually it's pretty soft on top and dries out as the day goes on. And there was a bit of sun around, so there was no reason why it probably shouldn't have dried out. But I think, we can make excuses, but I think, we lacked a bit of penetration, a bit of consistency, and probably our maiden count was a big thing. When the wicket's not, when it's not playing how you probably want it, with a bit of movement and a bit of pace in there, you probably want to just dry up as much as we can. And, we probably didn't do that. We did in patches. We bowled well in patches, but again... I'll call you back in 1 second. No worries. There you go. Don't know who that was. But so where was I? So probably the big thing was us, the consistency in dot balls. You play against world-class batsmen and they're good, especially on slow wickets, at getting those balls into the gaps and rotating the strike as they did. So, we could have had a different story, a bit of luck as well. Sid's no ball and then another drop catch and a few early on with the DRS referral system. So, it could have been a different day, but in the end we probably lacked that little bit of consistency with our dot balls on a wicket that wasn't offering a great deal.
Yeah.
Did you think, particularly early on when it might have done a bit, that collectively you were probably a bit short, that you didn't give yourself enough of a chance early on?
Definitely, I think we were definitely too short early on. And that can happen coming into a big game. There's plenty of nerves flying around. You want to try and get the ball in there in the right areas, and we probably dropped a little bit short early. But again, we got an early wicket, one for 30. So, it was probably just that follow up after that as well, with the odd 4 ball here, and just that, like I said before, just the consistency in building pressure over and over again. And I think that's what you have to do against good batsmen. You have to put them under as much pressure as possible. And we gave him that 4 ball every now and again, so we just lacked that, as I said before.
James, maybe the best thing that happened to the side all day happened after play, I suppose, in a funny sort of way. When Dulmini went down, you might only be playing 10 players by the looks of it. What did you see it at all? Or?
I seen him getting carried off, but I'm just worried about getting Amler and Callis out to start off with.
Mickey, I think before the series talked about winning the key moments. I mean, were you disappointed today that in the clutch moments you weren't able to build that pressure and for example, letting Callis off the hook?
Yeah, a little bit. It is disappointing going to games, but again, the good thing about cricket, there's another day. We come out tomorrow, and if we get some early wickets, you never know. On a wicket that's, like I said, pretty good for batting, it's pretty slow. But if we get some early wickets and get him out for under that 400 mark, you can definitely put pressure on. If we get as close as to their target as we can, hopefully the wicket does dry out for our second innings when we bowl, and there's a bit more pace in it. But look, we're keeping a positive frame of mind, definitely.
James, can you maybe just talk about, Hashim Amla, when he was dropped earlier this year at the Oval, went on to make that 311, and obviously he was dropped again here today. When something like that happens, how does it affect the way you feel in the field and just the motivation and the thought process?
I think as professional cricketers, we try and put that, what happens the ball before out of your mind as much as possible. I know it's hard, you don't like giving class batsmen like that another chance. You don't like getting them out twice. So I think, it's a pretty tough chance, but as elite sportsmen, you hopefully want to take those chances when they come, because against good batsmen, they don't come very often, and we have to make sure we take every opportunity we get. And I'm sure that, come tomorrow, if we get our chances, we'll be snapping them up as quick as possible.
Sean?
James, was that the first session of that pitch, was that a bit more docile than you expected? Well, obviously so much was said about the first session. Were you guys surprised how flat it was?
Yeah, definitely. That's the first time I've played on a wicket like this at the Gabba. It's a few of the boys were saying as well. It's the first time you look at. I don't think there was any catches go to slip on the first day at the Gabba, and it was very, very slow wicket. So I don't know what the reason. There's probably a bit of moisture in there. I don't know why. Hasn't been much rain around, but I think it's probably just the fact that they want it to break up or something like that. So look, it is a bit slower than what we probably thought, what we came to expect, but. I think as class players, you've got to try and overcome that and have a backup plan when that does happen.
James, in light of the conditions, do you think the South Africans may have misread them and made a mistake by not picking a spinner?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Probably with the wicket now being a bit slower, maybe. But if the wicket dries out and it's like it is usually, then it's usually pretty good for the quicks. But there's not really the sideways movement out there and the pace that there was in the Shield game I played a couple of weeks ago here. So, it might take some spin later on if it does dry out a little bit. There's not a great lot of grass covering on there either. It's pretty thatchy actually. So. I'm not sure. If it does dry out, then definitely it could hold some spin in the second innings.
James, what do you think you need to do tomorrow to get back in the game as far as bowling is concerned?
Take some wickets with the new ball will be a start early on. Try and get maybe 1 or 2 wickets early on and bring, it brings AB in and then Rudolph and maybe Duminy if he's okay. But look, I think if we can get them in with the new ball, we have a big chance. We just have to keep being positive as a team and keep going hard. And probably the one thing for us is just trying to build that consistency with the pressure and those dot balls.
Thanks, everyone.
No worries. Thank you.